After days of being stuck inside, they're finally back outdoors. Good afternoon, good evening, good night everybody. Hope you're doing awesome. Happy Friday to you all. It is Friday the 1st of May. Lovely and sunny outside and it is day 75. Finally, the wind is still present as you can see, but nowhere near as strong in gale force as it was before. So we've got them back outside. I'm not going to risk the time length. We'll start them again at 2 hours, just see how they adapt and make sure they're all okay. So we're going to give them a couple of hours out here, let them get what they need, and we'll check them all in afterwards and make sure they're doing all right and they've taken this hardening off session just right. Other than that, I hope you're doing awesome and you're having a great day. Me and Lucy are doing well. She's enjoying the ground, having a little sniff on you, kid. Hey, you're having fun, enjoying the sun, covered in grass, look. Let's do this, let's get into this. Let's start day 75. Paul, thank you. We've just bunched them up there so it's easier to film. Also, it's got a little bit of security from the public street. Last couple of days I've been looking out the window and finding people just stood in the middle of the garden. It's been very strange. There was a girl that was doing it recently until I stared out the window and then she realised and she hasn't been back. And then yesterday I got some lady walking her dogs, just walking in, straight in. I look out my front window and she just stood in the window. It's just carries on. So I've moved them over here because it's one thing trespassing and standing right in front of somebody's window, but if anything happens to these chilies now, just because of, I don't know, ignorant, entitled people, then I'm going to be quite upset. So minimise the risk, keep them sheltered, keep them hidden in this holly bush, but the sun can still get to them. And in that way, me and Miss Lucy can have a wander down the street. She's been a diva on her bathroom breaks again, so I'm going to find another plot of grass for her to have a sniff and piddle at. Let's leave these for another hour and 30 minutes and we'll bring them all in, categorise them and check them all out. Okay, we're about an hour in. Looking alright, aren't they? This Armageddon's looking a bit pale. I might turn them around. Yeah. 1 hour so far so good, I think. Let's check back in 1 hour's time. I think we're about 3 minutes away until the timer goes out, so it's been 2 hours. And I think we're all looking good. The leaves are looking alright, not too discoloured. This one maybe, as you can see, but everything else is looking pretty good to me. Let's get them in, check them all over, and see how they are. Let me get them all categorised, sorted out, restaked, readjusted if they need it, and we'll check them all out and see how they've done today. They're looking alright. Some of them are a little bit droopy on the leaves, but the soil's still quite wet, so I think that's a bit of overwatering. You know, if they were crispy dry leaves, they would be see, that's not drooping there, and the soil, I can feel the wetness on it still, so I'll let this all dry out. I think I've overwatered a little bit, but I'm glad they got the fertilizer in. We'll check through them all anyway and see what they need, see how they're looking, and yeah, we'll wrap the day up. Let's have a little check. Zimbabwe Black, looking lovely on the top, lots of action down the middle there. The only thing is, I would say the leaves are a little bit droopy on the outside, look, you see, a bit dog-eared there. The soil is quite damp still, as you can see on the bottom, so you know, hopefully the next couple of days, we're not going to give them any water, let them dry out a bit. I was going to fertilise them on the Saturday, so in the next couple of days time, but for sure let's wait until Tuesday, Wednesday maybe, get this soil good and dried out. And I think if the weather's like this, day or two in the sun, she'll be able to get that no problem. Looking alright though on the Zimbabwe Black. Here's our sweet banana. Only the one. That leaf that I bashed myself, we'll ignore that, but I think that it's looking fine, right? Solid stem, the leaves are good. There's new leaves coming in the middle. Yeah, stem's looking good. Roots making their way down. Starting to fill the bottom of the cup. Looking good, no complaints on the sweet banana. Here are the black jalapeños. Looking a bit stunted, shall we say. But new leaves coming through in the middle. There's a root down there. So he's coming along, just a slow grower. But the other one, doing really well, way bigger. They both handled the sun really well, I think. I think they'll be just fine. It'll only be a matter of time until this is as big as this for the black jalapeno. We have the Habaneros. They're looking a bit pathetic, aren't they? A bit sad, especially this one. Goodness me, droopy leaves. Bit overwatered, I think. You can see, yeah, you can see the wetness on the bottom of the cup there. Needs a bit more soil in there, but I can't really top them up too much without drowning them in soil. The side leaves are a bit droopy, but the top's looking good. So I think we just need to let this soil dry out and let the roots soak it all up, get what it needs. This one looking great. Very little, but looking alright. Yep, no complaints there. They're going to be alright on the habanero. Have a little look at our ghost peppers. We went from 3 down to 2, and I'm a little worried about this one. I'm hoping it's just a little overwatered, but the leaves are quite sad on the bottom, look, quite droopy. However, at the top, nice and new. So we'll see what happens with that one. And then we've got this one. No complaints. Look at all this. Put a little cable tie at the top. Doesn't really need it, but I just thought in case there's a bit of wind, let's make sure it stays good and firm alongside it. And there we go, the roots hitting the bottom. So we'll keep it out, closer eye on this one, but this one, all good on the ghost pepper. Mulatas. Let's go with this one first. A little skinny is an understatement. I have put a tie up on it just to make sure he's okay. New leaves coming through though, so should be alright. Time will tell on this one. Now we have this one here. The stem did get a bit of damage. So you see I put the cable tie quite tightly just because I don't want it to get knocked anymore. The leaves are a little droopy. New shoots coming down the stem though, so that's a good thing. Again, I just think a bit overwatered. And he's really due a transplant very, very soon. All good though, because look at this one. Flourishing, doing excellent. Look at all this. And another plant that needs a transplant very soon. It's examples like this makes me think I'm glad I planted at least 3 or 4 different types. 2 or 3 different pots for each strain. Just in case this happens or this one doesn't make it, this one should be fine. But if there's an issue and he doesn't make it, we've got this to fall back on. On the Buena Mulata. Our super hots next, the Carolina Reapers. I was starting to get a bit worried about them, but they've bounced back quite nicely. Leaves are a little bit light here and here. And there's a little bit of tinge on the corner of these leaves. Let's have a look at all 3 of them. Starting with our smallest. He's pretty much stayed like this quite a while. But we'll see. And this one's coming along nicely. Our medium-sized one. New leaves. Starting to get nice and darker again. Not droopy like yesterday. New stuff happening down there. And lovely roots making its way down to the bottom. Let's check out our final one here. Again, the leaves are sorting themselves out. Lots of new stuff in the middle there. Really nice. Solid stem. And look at those roots. Should be all fine on all 3 of these Carolina Reapers. The Tabascos. All 3 looking fine. So a quick check, lots of new stuff growing through the middle there. Put a twist tie because he was bending over a little bit too much to the side and wasn't straightening up, so that'll fix it. Good roots down to the bottom on that one. Let's check this one next, probably the second largest. Again, lots of stuff happening in the middle there. Got roots out the bottom here. That's going to need transplanting very, very, very soon. And let's check our final one here. Wow. Huge. Very, very nice. I think we're going to be quite successful on these 3 Tabascos. We'll make some Louisiana style hot sauce with these Tabasco peppers. The dream catchers next. All 5 looking great. No real cause for concern. All a little bit different in stages, but yeah, they're looking great. Really nice, look at this. Lots going on. And roots out the bottom there, yep. Perfect. This one here. Really nice. Looking forward to seeing how these peppers turn out. On the photographs that I've seen of the Dreamcatcher peppers, in the purple or red state, they look really, really nice. That roots out the bottom too. I think all 5 of these are going to need transplanting into bigger pots very soon. Lovely stuff. Yeah, really nice. On the dream catchers. One and only jalapeno, regular jalapeno, and it's a bit sad, a bit droopy on the leaves. I think it has been a bit overwatered. Still quite wet down there, as you can see, so we're just going to give it a bit of time, let it dry out a little bit, and it should be okay. And honestly, should be ready for a transplant very, very soon. But no issues really. Leaves are still looking nice and dark green. We got new shoots popping through in the middle. Just needs a bit of drying out. Too much water in the system at the moment for the jalapeno. Alright, here are the Armageddons. Here's our transplanted potted one. As you can see, leaves are a tiny bit light. And that one's a little bit lighter. But the new ones are coming through. Stem is solid. So I think, I don't know, I suppose maybe it might be a bit of sun scalding. Who knows, but we'll keep checking. Should be alright. Now this one, a little concerned. As you can see, that is a very pale leaf, as is that one. And then this one's quite droopy. So again, I think a little bit of overwatering because you can see the moisture glistening in the cup there. So just got to let them dry out. But either way, there's new leaves, new shoots coming through in the middle there. And a solid stem. Covered in those, I suppose, dandelion seeds that were blowing everywhere. But I'll clear them out. So let's have a look at this one. Again, a light leaf there and a light leaf there. But the rest of them, just a perfect dark green, new stuff. Stem's good. And the roots are starting to fill the cup. So should be alright. I just think with these 3, no water and fertilizer until I've drank it all up and the leaves have firmed up again, got nice and firm. Should be all good though on the Armageddon. Next, here are 4 Zebrange. Now I found with these plants they've gotten very tall and then all the leaves at the top. It's a bit odd. There's a couple of them that I've still got the mid leaves. This one I did trim a little because the leaves had completely gone. But this one I genuinely haven't touched, and it's very strange. But there we go. It seems to be doing okay, and roots are coming along nicely. Very, very tall, weird looking plants at the moment. Now I did trim the one No, just there, because the leaf had gone rotten. It was torn up. I don't know what happened there. But I thought give the rest of these leaves a chance, and all these new ones popping through. Should be all fine on that one. So yeah, those two are looking a little, should we say, strange. Doing all right, but a little strange. Got this one next. Really nice. Solid stem. And look at these roots. They are flying down. Really, really nice. Deep roots there. And then we have this one at the very end. Doing really well. Look at all that. Very, very nice. Oh, and look, roots at the bottom. We'll need transplanting very soon. It's a shame that I've left it this long when the roots pop out at the bottom, but it's easy enough to do. I can just cut along the cup, split the cup in two, so we're not going to damage the roots here as they're popping out. But they're looking alright, I think. All looking a bit weird, but doing okay for the Zebrange. Poblanos next. Let's check the smallest one first. Even though it's shorter, doing great. Look at those new leaves coming through. Solid. And look at those roots. Look at that. Definitely needs a transplant. Probably tomorrow, actually. I think I'm going to have to do both of these. All the new stuff coming through. Just fantastic. Yep. For sure, both of these need a transplant up very, very soon. They're looking great though, aren't they? The Poblanos. Here are the Sugar Rush Peach Stripeys. Let's take the shortest one first. Those leaves were a little bit discoloured, weren't they? I think they're making a comeback. This one needs a bit more time, but this one's gotten better. And we've got new leaves coming through there, even though it's covered in that dandelion seed dust. Everywhere though. Solid stem though. Lovely. Lots of new roots. Looking good there. Now this one I'm a bit concerned about. Very droopy leaves, as you can see. But the soil is so damp. Just been too overwatered. So that's all good. We will just let him dry out and he should perk himself back up and be just fine. This one next. Looking lovely. Now these leaves, let's feel them. They're not crispy, so it's definitely not underwatering. For sure overwatering. But we got new stuff in the middle there. Solid stem, no support cane needed. So it's just another case of letting him dry out. This one fine, those leaves are repaired themselves pretty much. New stuff in the middle. Bit droopy here. So again, overwatered. But that's alright. They just need a few more days to dry out and I think these leaves will perk right back up. We'll check in a few days time, but I think they'll be absolutely fine. On the Sugar Rush Peach Stripey. Orange ties are next. Here's our potted one. Not really much budging in growth. New shoots, new leaves. But not growing too much. All good though. Now this one I'm a bit worried about. Is looking quite, I think sad's an understatement, quite pathetic. I've put 3 cable ties up, just to twist ties, just to try and keep him propped up so he gets the sun and the LED lights. Again, quite overwatered, but I'm not sure. I feel this is going to go the way that the Jalapeño did and just collapse on itself. I'm not sure. We'll have to keep an eye on it and we'll see. However, this large orange tie is doing just excellent. There we are, all the new stuff on the top. Looking good. And look at all that on the bottom. We need a transplant out soon. So I think 2 out of 3 at the moment are fine. We just need to keep an eye on this one. But there we go. We'll see what happens with the large orange Scotch Bonnet MOAs. Let's have a little look. Our potted one, again, hasn't budged at all, but the leaves are just fine. And there's new leaves coming through. So, who knows? We shall see. And this one looking way better. Really perked themselves up. And the fertilizer's done them a world of good. Because they're all looking quite droopy before. And a few days later, I've taken the food and they've really adapted. Look at all this, very nice. And then we've got this one here, which is just surpassing all the others. Brand new leaves coming through, rock solid, just fantastic. Should be all good, time will tell on the Scotch Bonnet MOA. Kashmir Mirch next. Let's have a look at the potted ones. Now I did put a very loose twist tie there, look, just to keep them upright, but I don't think he even needs it. Doing good so far. Now we got a bit droopy on this one. As you can see, the soil is quite damp still, so we're going to give it a bit of time and make sure it's not going to be too much waterlogged and the leaves fall off. And then we have this one here. Again, the soil's still quite wet, but look at all this new action here, all down the middle. New leaves, new shoots. It's doing really, really well. Perfect. Let's have a look at the two in the cups. Let's go with this one first. So as you can see, he's looking a bit worse for wear. Oh God, I didn't even realise that. So yeah, I tried to straighten him up with a twist tie and I think I've just snapped the neck on him. So we'll have another check, we'll get that sorted out just in a second. But let's have a little look at this one. For sure this is the front runner. Lots of new stuff going on there. And roots out the bottom. Let me get this one fixed and it should be all good on the Kashmir Mirch. Padróns, looking a bit worse for wear, a bit overwatered. But hey, we'll see how this one goes. This one's doing alright, I think. Bounce back, the leaves are just solid. Stem strengthening up. Should be all good. We'll see what happens with these Padróns. By certainly no means least, let's check out the Cayennes. Let's do the potted ones first. They are just blooming. Look at all this. Lovely, lovely. Let's move them over there. We'll check this one next. Bit wonky, shall we say, but lots of new stuff happening there. Really, really nice. This one's a little bit leggy and short, shall we say. Suppose we'll just give it a bit of time and see what happens. And this one is thriving. Look at this. So good. So good. Now we've got two cupped ones. And they are doing even better than the potted ones. Look at all these side shoots. Really, really nice. And the roots are just hitting the bottom. So that's great stuff. And then finally we have this one. No complaints again. Need straightening up a little bit there. But yeah, they're doing really well on these Cayennes. They've all been returned, put back into their places. Tall ones along the one side so we can make sure the light's adjusted and not too high or too low. And we make sure we bring everything down to 2 to 4 inches. Not so high that it's going to cause leggy plants, but not so low it's going to burn and scald them. So the only thing left to do now is to put it on blue for the vegetation state, get it nice and leafy, get all the energy into the leaves and make the plants grow big and strong. And then hopefully tomorrow the weather's going to be just the same, low wind, lots of sun, high temperature, and we'll get these babies right outside again. We'll do 4 hours, get them back into the hardening off routine that was reset due to the windy weather. But there we go, everybody. That wraps up day 75. I want to thank you all for joining us. We're at 86 subscribers, lots of lovely comments, lots of support, lots of likes, people sharing. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Lucy and I really appreciate it. Organic food and organic minds for every single one of you. Thank you all so much. You take care of yourselves. Make sure you look after me, myself and I, because nobody's going to throw you a lifeline if you're drowning. You take care of yourselves. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you Saturday for day 76. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.